Okay, next up is number 8 worst film of the year, Frankie and Alice. Halle Berry really tries to revitalize her Oscar credibility in this film instead makes a self-indulgent picture with the help of Jeffrey Sachs. Now, it annoys me that Berry thought she could get away with it. She thought, let's deliberately put an Oscar hype on this film, and I'll play every card possible for the supposed themes of this film, and including the never-failing, and Oprah, if you're watching, too bad, the never-failing race card. And I'll get myself a nomination. Now, I actually apologize for the vagueness of my review for this film. I didn't really go into the plot at all, really. But what it is, I'm sure some of you have heard by now. But a woman with, of course, 2 different personalities and whatnot. But really, just that's not much of that outside of it. And I'm almost glad, because of all the things I said, that this movie was as bad as it was. It kind of deserved to be this bad. It's just a melodrama with no heart. It's a poorly written character and a tedious plot. And look, now I've been appreciative of Berry's talents in the past, such as of course her Oscar-winning role in Monsters Ball. But now she's near the point of no return, I'm starting to find. Now this movie is every bit as desperate as she comes off as, and it's quite pathetic, really. And I was almost hoping that Tyler Perry and Oprah would actually steamroll behind this film and put their names on it somehow, so I'd have more about it to mock. And just thinking about it just makes me want to cry, to be quite honest with you. So yes, Frankie and Alice I know it's supposed to be initially Oscar hype. If the Oscars even consider nominating this film, I will never watch the Oscars again. Number 7 worst film of the year is Sex and the City 2, and it saddens me that a once well-written show that's seemingly played off the nature of high-maintenance upper-class society in a smart, satirical fashion has become a walking ad campaign glorifying that very style of shallow living. It's almost as if they become a self-parody of the great characters they once were, but this isn't a horror film. That sort of idealistic just don't work. And usually in horror films, it usually revitalizes a franchise even briefly, but still, the first film just was not good, but wasn't anywhere near as how poor this just comes off as, and it just really makes me sad to watch that the Sex and the City franchise has turned out like this. This is definitely one of the worst ones of the year, but it's almost as if the Brat dolls have grown up, and that's how these characters have come off now, and it's just dretch. There's nothing but dretch, and this film was a slap in the face for the original series, which, despite the characters often having their heads in the clouds, had one foot on the earth. This time they have nothing on the earth. Everything's just up in the clouds, and including certain surgical aspects of their body parts, but we don't have to get into that. But their heads are just beyond Pluto right here, as well as stuck up somewhere. Their heads might be stuck up somewhere else as well. The plot is about as visible as any significant skin layers on Sarah Jessica Parker's body. So really, it just does nothing for anybody. So that's Sex and the City. Just Sex and the City Part 2, just a complete waste of time. Just watch the original first 3 or 4 seasons of the original series if you want something entertaining from these characters. So those are films 8 and 7.